welcome back to News 3 at 4. Well, the landscape of college athletics, it is ever changing, and this coming year there will be yet another new wrinkle added. Well, college athletes, they can now be paid directly by the school, and this will impact athletic departments across the country. You know that SIU is no exception. Well, here to discuss that today is SIU Athletic Director Tim Leonard. Tim, thank you for joining us today.
Always fun to come over here.
Well, we always love to talk about Saluki Athletics as well. And this is a big development.
Yes.
So now you're opting into a revenue sharing model. Can you just kind of explain what that means?
Yeah, so this is part of the House versus the NCAA. We came up with a settlement, and so moving forward, all universities are able to directly negotiate and compensate their student athletes through a form of revenue sharing. So any of the revenue that we generate from sponsorship, ticket sales, fundraising, all those types of things we can now share with student athletes should we choose to do so.
And that differs from how you were doing it before. How?
Well, yes. In the past couple of years, we weren't able to do any of that directly.
Okay.
And that would run through an outside entity known as these collectives that popped up all around the country.
That's right.
And then people could also do it, companies directly with student athletes should they choose. But
Okay.
we've been kind of heading in this direction for probably the last 4 or 5 years.
Okay. And it's up to each individual school as to how they divvy up that money between the sports? How's that work?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
And you know, for a school like us, we're allowed, according to the House settlement, we can give up to almost $21 million out. Well,
Wow.
we can't do that because that would be almost our entire budget.
Okay.
But we can decide on what's the level that we need to give out. Right now, we're giving out a little bit to a lot of our sports, but we're trying to primarily focus on men's basketball because that's where we need to be competitive to generate revenue so we can do a lot more things.
Okay, so generate revenue to make revenue.
100%,
Okay.
yes.
Well, now we hear a lot about the NIL and athletes being paid for sponsorship deals. Is that also an option, or is that something else?
Yes, no, that's still, that should have been allowed from the very get-go, right? If a young person wants to be able to make some money off of their name, image, and likeness, they can still do that now. And we'll still have several local companies that will reach out to our student athletes and ask them to endorse their product or promote their
Okay.
product. So yeah, we'll still have some of that.
I think we've seen a couple of those.
Yeah, 100%. I'm sure you have. Yes.
Okay. Well, for Saluki fans at home who want to see the Dogs succeed, how can they play a role?
I tell you, the best thing people can do, come out to the games. We need to see those stadiums packed, the arenas packed. I mean, it does so much for the local economy. It obviously will help us in our ability to be competitive, and obviously that's going to help us generate more revenue. But the most important thing, come out to the games, watch the games on TV, just show interest.
All right, and check out Saluki Athletics online when you get the chance. You can check out all the tickets right there.
Yes.
All right. Tim, thank you for coming on today and explaining how we can continue to support Saluki Athletics.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
All right.